county agent come by last week. William looked up from the red and white checked oilcloth spread smoothly over the round kitchen table. He did not speak. Says they have a new school at the university in Columbia. They call it a college of agriculture. Says he thinks he ought to go. It takes 4 years. 4 years, William said. Does it cost money? For me, it only cost a quarter. 25 cents, and the book was mine. Stoner, by John Williams. But what the hell is Stoner? A 1965 novel by John Williams, who you might know as the author of Butcher's Crossing. Stoner is about a man named William Stoner. It's a simple story, really, because it's a story of his life. Raised on a farm, knowing only hard work, Stoner goes to university at the advice of his father. But while there, to study agriculture, he falls in love with literature. From that moment on, he switches his major, becomes a professor, and starts an entirely new life. Constantly, however, he faces struggles between what he wants and what is presented in his life. And that's the story. I mean, at first it sounded boring to me. It's just this guy's mundane, kind of slow, boring life, but...
This is a novel that I think every reader should read.
It was a fantastic read. I really enjoyed it from start to finish.
This really hits hard.
This book has a lot of heart, a lot of soul.
The way John Williams wrote this story about a very regular, normal person had me, by the end of it, just rethinking my life.
A lot of people whose opinions I value have praised this book. If you look in the comments, I mean, dude, there's love to go around there. But, as everyone seems to be saying, is it a masterpiece? Well, when I stumbled upon it in a consignment shop for only a quarter, I had to find out for myself. I'm interested to see what this thing has to offer. Alrighty, so update on Stoner. We are on page 55. We're in chapter 3. Stoner is excellent so far. I got a decent bit in. John Williams is excellent at articulating these very specific feelings that books evoke in me. And it seems other people share the same belief, because everyone heralds this book as just being amazing. And I think it's because, first what I've been noticing in the beginning is that it puts kind of some of the magic of books. It articulates it perfectly. Unspoken things that it feels like we always feel. And John Williams is just like, yes, it's this, and that's concrete. He is completely bold with his prose in that it is the hard truth. What he says is unbiased, and it's from almost this 100% truthful perspective, if that makes any sense. Like, there's this line here: as his mind engaged itself with the subject, as it grappled with the power of the literature he studied and tried to understand its nature, he was aware of a constant change within himself. I know, it's stuff like that. There's another one where he's looking at a corner of darkness and he sees the characters in the books that he's reading form in that darkness. Literature changes how he thinks about himself, how he views the world. So far, I'm at a part now where Stoner's getting a little romantic about someone, but I haven't gotten too far into it. And I'm really interested to see where it continues to go to get further into his life, because I can definitely see how impactful this book could be. And it is what I was expecting in a very good way. Alrighty, goodbye, see ya. Okay, so it is like 6:46, which is early for me. Anyway, I'm gonna read Stoner a little bit here in the wee hours of the morning. Some literature consumption. Let's get to it. Okay, so I have read a lot of Stoner today, and we are on chapter 8, page 120, which actually, initially, this was my goal for the day, but I had changed it at some point to 140, so technically I didn't reach my goal for the day, which this is just this thing I'd set for myself, but life happened to be, far more fun than actually reading. Sometimes I get so worried about trying to read as much as I can that I ignore the, actual reality in life staring me right in the face. I mean, today I had a really good time with my family. You can't get much more valuable than that. Anyways, Stoner. This book is dense, man. I read like 65 pages today. On the surface, that might not seem like a lot. To me, it's still a lot. I'm halfway through Stoner's life. As we left off last night, Stoner was crushing for a girl. And that goes further into a horrendous marriage. Just a terrible marriage. Some of the things Stoner does makes me extremely uncomfortable. And honestly, at points, just straight up really kind of hate Stoner because he cannot understand or see that this girl has no interest in him. It's so obvious. It is so painfully obvious. It kind of feels like July Johnson at some points from Lonesome Dove, if you guys have read that. It makes me giggle. And she doesn't have feelings for her, and then it says he violates her. I would assume that means he rapes her. Stoner, at some points I can really relate with him, really understand. But at some points I get upset at his own indecisiveness, which maybe I get upset about that because in some ways I'm the same way. He's kind of this personality, and he definitely has more personality at the beginning of the book. Literature kind of opens that up to him. But only now are we starting to see him embrace a kind of excitement about the literature he's teaching. And that was really refreshing. And I really do think the older I get, like in 5 years, I am probably going to be able to get so much more out of this book than I am now. But yeah, it's a thinker. I think this book is going to make more sense to me as a complete picture. Because right now I'm not sure. I'm buckled up for the ride, but I don't really know where we're going. I don't know exactly what the point of it is yet, but we will see. I have faith. We will see. I am dead tired right now. That getting up at 6:30 did not help me that much, and it is making me really tired now. It's only 10:30, but I'm tired. Okay, I will catch you on the flip side. Chapter 14, page 217. I did a lot of reading today, and the day's not even over. It's like 4 p.m. right now. Man, Stoner, in my opinion, has gotten really, really good. Stoner has a freaking backbone. He actually has a backbone, and there's a side of Stoner, I was starting to see at least, become more apparent. The parts I've been reading, Stoner really starts to develop as his own person and as his own man. And he does face some unfair challenges, man, like some stupid university crap. Stoner is actually trying to stand up at some points for the right thing. The consequences of that are just like, come on, man, like really? Stoner is definitely more admirable in these parts. He still does ethically... It's a gray area, at least in Stoner's case. It's very, very interesting what Stoner learns from some of the things he does, and you can't help, at least I can't help but feel sorry for him with the kind of unfair hands he's dealt with. But he deals with them typically pretty honestly, with a good bit of integrity. And I've heard people call Stoner a hero, and I can see why people might call him a hero. I'm not sure if he's a hero to me, but I can definitely understand that viewpoint, and I'm really starting to enjoy Stoner. It got to a point where I actually just like couldn't stop reading. I lost count of the pages I was on, and it was a very pleasant experience. This book is really good, and John Williams really knows how to articulate complex emotions that I feel like almost everyone has felt or experienced. There's things that Stoner has experienced that I feel like I have too, and the way John Williams is able to craft a sentence that perfectly and completely honestly encapsulates that feeling is phenomenal. It's crazy how he can make these impossible sentences. That's what they feel like to me a lot of the time. I have been underlining a good bit of stuff whenever I see it. It's not my favorite book in the world, but I can definitely appreciate it. I do think it is very good. I read about 95 pages, somewhere around that point, which, hey, for me, that's a lot. This is a pretty dense book. Yeah, Stoner is a dude who exists in a page. Okay, Okay, I'm on page 255 of Stoner. I'm on what chapter am I on? 16. And man, Stoner is phenomenal. I've got about 20 pages left. I'm really fully kind of falling in love with this book. It definitely gets better as it goes, in my opinion, just progressively. I really understand why people like this book so much right now. Again, I'm not done, but I'm gonna sit down, finish the whole thing, let you know how I feel, and then in a few days, I'm going to come back, give my closing thoughts after I've had time to digest the book. Let's get this bad boy done. We finished it. I genuinely don't know what to say. There's a lot of feelings about this book. This book made me feel a lot of emotions that I don't even know really what they are. I don't know if I'm going out of my way to like it because I want to like it, I really badly want to like it, or if it's actually just amazing. I'm leaning towards it's actually just amazing. I literally just finished it a minute ago. I wrote a little note on the back of the book. I wrote, oh my god, I don't know how to feel, but I feel a lot, and everything bubbling in my chest. I don't think I understood everything, but this was an incredible thing entirely. Whoa, wow. That's what I wrote, and that's still kind of what I feel. Each second as I'm talking now, I think I'm liking it more and more. I don't know, I feel like it's too early to say masterpiece, but that's the word that I keep wanting to say. To give you the runny, this book is incredibly good. This book is incredibly good. It's nothing bombastic. It is mundane, as I heard Books Are Sick put it. Stoner has a mundane life. The book is about his life, and it is mundane, but it is so beautifully and honestly and well written. It's guttural, man. This book feels guttural right now. As I'm talking, it's like a freaking thing in my chest. This is the most emotionally charged description of a book. I'm sorry for anyone who came here for a deep analysis. When it comes to me reading books, I'm always very interested in the writing aspects, the technical aspects. But for me, at least exactly when I finish a book, I like to focus on how it made me feel, what it made me feel. And this book is crazy because I don't know what the flip I'm feeling right now. If this book at all sounds interesting to you, I urge you to read it so badly. It's definitely not for everybody. I didn't even think it was for me, really, but I think this sounds so dramatic, but oh my gosh, this was not what I was expecting, and yet it was. And I sound like a babbler, and I sound pretentious and kind of weird. This is the only way I know how to describe it right now. I'm blasted right now. I don't know what the flip John Williams did to me, but I'm going to have to brood on this book for a while. I don't know if there's a point to keep recording because I think I've encapsulated my baffledness at this book. I'm going to stop this recording. I'm going to think about this for a few days, and then I will get back to you guys. I'm going to go on a run and try to digest this book. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it's been about 3 days since I finished Stoner. Each day, the book has grown on me more and more. I think what makes Stoner great, or made it great for me, was being able to see his entire life and how it can easily be viewed as a failure, right? The first paragraph presents his life how it might appear from another person's POV. How he went to college, he died, and most people don't even think about him, really. The book allows you to see up close William's life in the details, not just in broad strokes, and you can determine if his life is a failure or not. And I don't think his life is a failure. I've always been really interested in the idea. I used to think that I had to be famous. I thought that I had to do something that would be remembered for the rest of time and history. But I realized that wasn't true. I don't believe that's true. And Stoner, for me, somehow, is a confirmation of this, in that Stoner's life on the surface is a failure. But he got to experience this variety of human emotions, got a huge range of it all. in his, what could be called meaningless life. And is there nothing more to ask than that? There's so many ways to look at this book, and there's so many things. I'm not even scratching the surface with this little conclusion. This is just what I personally thought, to really try not to look at other reviews so I could really say what stuck out the most to me. And it was that. For me, it was that. It was that by the end, he got to be a human being in its fullest. Also, this should have been so boring. Like any other author, this book would have been boring as rocks, but John Williams made it entertaining. And I was reading the introduction after I finished the book. Don't read the introduction if you haven't read the book, because it does spoil a lot of plot points, but honestly, even if you know that, the book can still be great. It doesn't really rely on anything like that. John Williams had once in an interview that this referenced, he was critiquing that novels are studied and understood rather than experienced. And he was saying how to read without joy is stupid. And I honestly love that. I love that view on literature. I like to read books because I like to experience them. And hearing an author put it into words so perfectly was really awesome. I was like, dude, I actually love John Williams. That is a W take. That just made me happy. I just wanted to include that. But yes, Stoner is worth your time. If it sounds interesting, absolutely read it. I am underselling this book, undoubtedly. I found it very interesting, especially second half. Conflicts come in between certain characters, and it actually is somehow really entertaining. This university drama that is in here was making me giggle. These kind of small wins, small battles, but done very cleverly. John Williams, I don't know how he made this book interesting, but he did. He made it so interesting. I am still thinking about this book, and I definitely will be thinking about it. And so to answer the question I posed at the beginning of this video, is it a masterpiece? Yes. Yes, absolutely. I read this book in 4 days. That is pretty fast for me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. It means a ton. And hopefully I will see you guys next week. Alrighty, goodbye.